Hey, it's Mikey Mike. Hey, we are kite surfing in Long Beach today, and it's December 3rd, and we got our boards out. We got our Forward WIP goggles and helmet. Oh my gosh, you know, Always Kiting is amazing. They have some great Forward WIP gear. You got to check them out. Here's my relive video. There was a lot of walking going on today because there was hardly any wind. So, but we survived, and we had a good time. It was forecast for a little bit better, but it didn't quite pan out. So, but nevertheless, had a great time kite surfing in Long Beach today. We could do a quick self launch, and then I was struggling to get my kite up, and then somebody came over and helped, which was awesome. So we get the kite up in the air. Little help there, and then yeah, there was enough wind to keep the kite in the sky for sure, but it was about 12 miles an hour to about 16, 17, which was the forecast, or which was the which would happen on the forecast. But hey, so we're gonna body drag out. If you're in Long Beach, you ought to careful the stingrays, and you gotta body drag out. And yeah, I got my new gloves on, and those things are awesome. I'll put a link down in the description for those things. Little neoprene gloves, super cheap on Amazon. You got to check them out. They work really well. I'm on the 17-meter Cabrinha Contra, which is a massive kite, and this thing is the slowest thing in the whole world. Yeah, I probably should have been on a smaller kite when I first started to learn, but you know, hey, these winds are super slow, or super low. There is zero white caps. There's nothing going on, and we were struggling, but having some fun. We were wet. It's December, and we're kiting. So just moving along, and there's about 5 or 10 guys out. Not too many people. But it was fun. We had a good time. Just trying to stay upwind. And this kite, man, it flies like a truck, man. It has a lot of power, so it's hard to get upwind when you want to. So it's kind of weird. With smaller kites, it's easier to get upwind for some reason. But this thing is just brutal. So we were working on transitions and having some fun, and yeah. What's unfortunate is all the walking I did. I probably had an hour, almost 2-hour session, and my battery ran out on my GoPro, and I didn't want to change the batteries when I was walking up and down the beach, so I didn't get a lot of footage, but it was fun. So I got the new GoPro Hero11s now, and they have horizon lock, which is really, really cool. Although it makes my camera a little bit tighter, and there was a transition right there, and it was a tight transition. It worked really well, but and the 17 kept me lofting, and I was able to spin the board and just like go. So that was kind of cool. And it's such a pretty view. Oh my gosh, with that sun, you know, coming down in the on the horizon there. And thank gosh for the Forward WIP goggles. They're not inexpensive. You know, they're not cheap, and they're very well. They're awesome. They have water beating lenses. They're somewhat anti-fog. They're not great anti-fog. I think we need some more anti-fog stuff inside them or something. But it was to keep the glare down off the water when it's wintertime. Yeah, it totally helps. It's awesome. So a down loop bottom turn right here with a 17 meter. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. And unspin the bar, and we were going. This was awesome. And I crashed a couple times doing this today, but that time, hey, got to see it. The other times, the camera wasn't on. So I had a pretty good face plant doing one of those earlier too. So later, it wasn't pretty. But for the most part, we had a great time. We got wet, and we were kiting. So Long Beach, it's a great place to learn. Make sure you grab some lessons from all the great local kite shops around the Belmont area, and yeah, it's so addicting. So once again, riding the my 6'4" GB board with the Cabrinha 17-meter Contra today. I hardly ever bring this thing out, but it was a session saver today for sure. And I would have been struggling because there was zero wind for sure. And it was fun. And loving the new helmet, the Forward WIP helmet, and my new goggles. Those things are awesome because that sun is like crazy bright, especially in the wintertime, like right down low to the water, and you just get this glare, and it's tough. So another transition here, and just moving and doing okay. Yeah, and this kite is not in slow motion. It's just how slow it is. It is like driving a Mack truck, man. It just moves really slow. But it gets my fat butt out of the water for sure. I think it was 130 pounds today, and excuse me, 230 pounds today. So if you're a little heavier and it's kiting it is doable. And now I'm way down. These buoys here are way down the beach, and I'm struggling. I'm trying to get back up the beach, and I'm gonna end up. I gained a little bit of ground. I'm trying to gain as much ground as I can, but I had to do like 2 or 3 or 4 walks of shame today. But I didn't mind because I was kiting, and it was part of the game because I just couldn't get upwind, and because there was no wind. So we got downwind and we were kiting, so it's all good. Right close to the shore here, I'm trying to ride up on some of these waves and keep my fins from ripping off the back of my board and just pop off, and yeah, it worked out good. So here's a little beach cam perspective. You can kind of see how slow this kite moves. Man, it is slow. And I'm diving it hard too, trying to keep get some momentum going here. But you can see that glare on the water. It's tough. The beach cam was having a hard time looking that way. Looks like we're gonna get tangled up with this other kite, but I think the distances are pretty far apart. But it was a lot of fun. And Dennis came. That's the guy I saw at 6 Mile Cove. He came about right when I was leaving again. Every time I leave, Dennis shows up. So Dennis got to get there a little bit earlier. And there's Neil.
Yeah, it's been light all day.
Yeah, I guess maybe Monday will be.
It's just kind of kiteable right about now.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it's pretty on target with the forecast.
Yeah, I thought I was going to pick up a little bit earlier, but
I wasn't tracking good, but then it came back.
Yeah.
It's a long drive here if it doesn't happen there.
Right?
Yeah.
I was crossing my fingers.
Well, Mojave's a little too cold here, or just too far today?
I went there a week ago.
Yeah, you took some great videos.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It was bad?
It wasn't bad.
Oh, wasn't bad?
It was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was there by myself until I left, and then somebody else came.
Yeah, I was looking, I think, if I go there, I need a 4x4, so...
all-wheel drive. I mean, I've been down there with my little Hyundai Sonata with 2-wheel drive, and I made it.
Oh, okay.
But you got to go fast if you're going to 9 Mile Cove.
Yeah.
6 Mile, no problem.
Oh, okay. Oh, 6 miles easy, okay.
Yeah, 6 miles easy.
There's a parking lot there and everything, and there's
not a parking lot, but
the road's better.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's well groomed. The other one's pretty rocky, and
yeah.
And towards the bottom or by the beach, it's sandy.
So still having some fun here and get back in the water. Neil is just trying to have some fun kiting today because it's you know, everybody's binging for a little bit of wind down there in Long Beach today. But it spiked a little bit, but not great. Look, it looks like a lake for sure. Well, not the lakes I go to. The lakes I go to are like crazy windy. But yeah, we'll just call it a lake today. But the 17 meter was was doing pretty good. Like I said, it's pretty much a truck, and it's slow, but we had some fun. My buddy Andrew, he opted out today. He's like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. So he's like, I'm just gonna play with my buddy with the some Corvette thing, and it looked pretty cool on his Instagram picture he showed me. It was a pretty bad butt, man, that's for sure. But it's moving along, you know, trying to stay upwind and work on those transitions. You know, everyday kiting is something different, and yeah, it's still learning. Everybody's learning for sure. Definitely getting better, but yeah. So here's another little transition. Not looking pretty, but hey, it worked. Got to switch those feet and spin this big old monster kite around, and it worked out. But it's so the wind was so light. I can't stress that enough. It's super light. Everybody was out on foil kites and foil boards, and a couple people are on foil kites and big twin tips, huge twin tips. But I was out in the surfboard, and that's pretty much my staple. Just mowing the grass, you know, got brand new knees, and you know, bilateral knee replacement is a little tough, but hey, I'm kiting and I'm happy. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow my kite surfing adventures, and we'll have some fun here for sure. So just kind of come back to the shore, trying not to rip the fins off again, and jump off, and yeah, a little self land, and yeah, it worked out okay. I bounced it off a couple times off the sand, and then I pulled the top line and it was able to self land the kite. And that was the end of the session. So once again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. It's Mikey Mike. Hope you had a great time, man. All right, peace.